Alright guys, so here I got a couple things done with this spark plug wire situation. So I took the coil pack off of the firewall that I just had zip tied up, and actually what I did here, I just bent this bracket that all the coil packs are mounted to, where this normally gets bolted down onto the valve cover. So I took the front and the back bolts and basically just bent this whole plate up so these can kind of do a little up and over here. And this is actually just one of them little shiny fancy plates from O'Reilly's. It's just a spark plug thing. It's like $9, and this is the factory clip that came with the 4 wires. So now I'm using all 4 of the longer wires and then just going kind of down and around, and this is actually working pretty decent so far. So that's where they come down and around. Just kind of got them zip tied. I don't know what I want to do yet to finalize all that stuff, but it seems like it's okay. Also hooked up this little boost controller. This is just one of them little cheap crap eBay ones. So the goal for today is to actually take this thing out and try to turn the boost up. It's been at around 4 pounds, the new cam and everything in it. Not exactly sure what the huge difference is, because before with the same setup it was at 8 pounds. Now it stops at around 4 pounds. So not a huge deal. I'm going to try to use this boost controller and get it to work. When I tried to use it last time, it didn't really work. I didn't see a change whether I had it open or closed. Hooked it up a couple different ways and it didn't really seem like it did anything. So I'm going to give it another shot and see what it does. But the goal today is to try to get it up around 12, 14 pounds. Oh, I should add 12 to 14 pounds without blowing it up. Alright guys, so I ended up having issues with pretty much every one of my screen captures that I did today, so I'm just going to kind of voice over this thing and show you what I'm looking at. So here I'm just talking about my wide open throttle run. The green line that I'm pointing to now is my throttle position. And now I'm showing basically that I'm increasing my throttle position until I can see the purple line in the second row. Right there, flatten out. So that's showing me that my manifold pressure is stopping. It's starting to level off, so that's where my boost level is. And that's about 140 kPa, which is about 8 pounds, I believe, 6 or 8 pounds. So basically I'm just showing increasing throttle position and watching that thing flatten out. Checking air-fuel ratio, it's at an 11.0 right now, commanded at 11.5. So that's pretty good. And this was the first run, so this was about 6 or 8 pounds. Also showing right here, I did have a little bit of knock retard. I don't know what that was coming from, but I was just mentioning here that I'm just going to keep an eye out for that while I'm doing the wide open runs. So now I scroll back over and show that I didn't really have any of the knock retard during the wide open throttle section. So that part looked okay. Alright guys, so we got one good little pull at like 6 pounds. I'm gonna try to actually do a screen capture of the run so we can see it and watch it. This computer doesn't really, it's kind of finicky with the screen capture stuff with the scanner going, so I'm a little skeptical of it. But if I start to see any issues with the scanner, I'm probably just gonna stop it, because I got my scanner to the point now where it doesn't freeze. I think I had too many channels open on the channel section, so it was like starting to freeze. I think I was trying to record too much data, so whenever I would get in the throttle it would start to freeze a little bit. So I'm gonna start the truck, start scanning, we'll go for a drive and see what this does. It was at 6 pounds. I went 2 clicks from completely closed on that boost controller, so we'll try that thing. Alright guys, so while I'm waiting for that video to save, it did go up a little bit. It went to about 8 pounds, so from 6 to 8 pounds with 2 clicks. So I went another 2 clicks, and I'm guessing the farther I open it, the larger the change is going to be. But we'll see. Went another 2 clicks. Like I said before, I'm trying to get to like the 12, 14 pound range. It's only a 2-bar map sensor, so I can really only go to like 15 pounds. So I'd like to keep it safe in like probably the 12 to 14. 14-ish. Well guys, I want to show you something really cool. From 6 to 8 pounds. I was sitting here waiting for the screen capture to save. From 6 to 8 pounds. And didn't realize I had my accessory on in the on position, and I was sitting here for probably about 10 minutes. From 6 to 8 pounds. And now I'm stuck. My battery's dead. But the good news is, my wife is on the way to save me once again. At least we don't have any broken parts, so that's good. Alright guys, not so good technology day, but the truck's not broken, so that's good. So I'm going to do a video of the computer instead of the screen capture because I still want to show this to you. So here was one of the 11-pound runs. So you can see here we're at like 170, so this is like a 10, 11-ish pound range. So that's pretty decent that that's starting to flatten off. When I'm wide open throttle up here, you can see green line is flattened out, 100% throttle position. So the videos are kind of deceiving as far as, I guess, speed and what's actually happening. But the end of this run was 112 miles an hour. It's kind of hard to tell from the video. It looks like I'm just cruising like 45, but the roads here in Mexico are pretty flat, so it's hard to tell. Here we go. So we're at like 11, we're at like a 12 air-fuel ratio right here. Not so bad. But if you look at this white line right here, this is a 60% duty cycle. So I tried on the next couple runs to actually turn this up a little bit. So we'll do this fifth pull, 11 pounds. So went through and I worked on adding more fuel in that section because it happened a couple times. So now look at the duty cycle up here. We're at like 84, 85% duty cycle and 12.6. 12.3, 12.6 air fuel, and pretty much the same boost level. So I'm adding more fuel. My injectors are working harder, but I'm not actually getting more fuel. So that's telling me that I'm running out of fuel pump. So I'm just going to leave this thing at probably 8 or 10 pounds for now. So if you go into the editor here, you see this row I basically took at 5,200 and I added 5% because this is basically where it's needing more fuel down here. So I went and added 5%. Did another pull, still showed the same, added 5%, did another pull, still showed up the same way, and all I can see is my injector duty cycle increasing. So it went from 60 to 80%. AFR didn't change, and I went up 15% in fuel in that area and wasn't getting any more. So look at the difference in the numbers here. Like 79 to 102, this is pretty much the jump. And I went kind of drastic on this just to see if it would do anything. Didn't get any more fuel, so I think I'm out of pump.